Today, I am announcing my candidacy for the 2024 Republican nomination to represent Colorado's 4th Congressional District. This is the right move for Colorado, for us.
I'd like to ask her just a really simple question, and that is, could you give the definition of carpetbagger to me?
Damn!
Have you ever been arrested?
Do we get to say what for? Maybe it doesn't matter.
A party of law and order, ladies and gentlemen.
You have 1 minute.
Is this a Mary Poppins question? So yes, I have moved into the 4th district. My boys and I needed a fresh start.
Lauren Boebert, in fear of losing her congressional seat, switched districts to what she thought would be an easier race, but now she's facing a slew of new Republican candidates.
I think that Congresswoman Boebert has made a very big misstep in her decision to jump from CD3 to CD4, and the Eastern Colorado electorate is going to show her that despite everything she says and does.
What forced the move? No stranger to scandal, the Beetlejuice scandal, where she vaped, groped, lied, and was just obnoxiously rude and thrown out of the theater, proved to be one too many. So much so, even a local news anchor in Colorado couldn't help but weigh in on how Boebert is held to a different standard than her colleague, a much lower standard.
We hold Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert to a different standard than every other elected official in Colorado. We hold Congresswoman Boebert to a far lower standard. If we held her to the same standard as every other elected Republican and Democrat in Colorado, we would be here near nightly chronicling the cruel, false, and bigoted things that Boebert says for attention and fundraising. This is not about politics, assuming politics is still about things like taxes, national security, healthcare, jobs, and public lands. This is about us, as journalists, recognizing that we'll hold a politician accountable if they say something vile once, but we won't do it if they do it every day.
Things don't seem to be panning out for Boebert the way she planned. Colorado Republican Representative Lauren Boebert finished in 5th place in a straw poll of 8 candidates running for Congress in her new district, a poor showing for an incumbent candidate. The straw poll vote came after the CD4 Republican primary debate in Fort Lupton, Colorado, in which Boebert only received 12 votes out of 117 cast. Boebert's poor showing led to audible gasps from the crowd when the results were announced. Logan County Commissioner Jerry Sonnenberg, a former Colorado legislator, led the straw poll with 22 votes, followed by former Colorado House Minority Leader Mike Lynch with 20 votes, filmmaker and conservative radio host Deborah Flora with 18 votes, and House Minority Whip Richard Holoff, Republican out of Akron, with 17 votes. A third of those eligible to vote in the straw poll did not cast their ballots. This comes after the fact that Boebert barely won her original district, the 3rd district, in the 2022 election against a Democrat. And she thinks she's the one that needs a fresh start, but it's actually we, the country, that needs a fresh start from her.
And I'm here to earn your support, earn your vote. This is not a coronation. So I am actually very proud of what I have done in this session, in our majority. I've been very responsible with my legislative duties in this majority.
Here's the bottom line. Let's stop grooming our children, including our military kids. It's gross. It is wrong. I am here to take a stand against it, and I urge my colleagues to pass my amendment.
It's just another con game by the Democrats, calling something one thing and saying another.
Has expired.
This is making the IRS, which
Gentlewoman's
armed
time
agents,
has expired.
larger than the Pentagon, the State Department,
Gentlewoman is
the
no
FBI.
longer recognized. The gentleman from Missouri reserves the ballot.
The historic investments we're celebrating today is in Congressman Boebert's district. She, along with every single Republican colleague, voted against the law that made these investments in jobs possible.
If you think back of all the things she's done, January 6th, during the insurrection, she tweeted sensitive information about House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's whereabouts.
Nancy Pelosi is running a con game in Washington, D.C. Nancy's con game, Nancy Pelosi's con game. Con game that I'm in, Nancy Pelosi with Pelosi's con game. Later, Pelosi pushes the con game that is not Nancy Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi's con game. Not playing Nancy's con game. When Nancy Pelosi knows it. Pelosi's con games. This was of the con game. And Nancy Pelosi is running a con game. Pelosi, Democrat, and Nancy Pelosi's party. And Nancy Pelosi will not Pelosi con game. Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi, or Nancy Pelosi.
I'm Adam Frisch. I'm not Nancy Pelosi. I'm Adam Frisch. I'm not Nancy Pelosi.
She then also compared a fellow congresswoman to a suicide bomber and famously heckled Biden during his State of the Union address.
Family home. It may not be a $2.5 million home like yours, but that sounds like a lot of red tape to me.
Excuse me.
Do you disagree?
I really take that as a personal
do you
assumption.
disagree?
My home.
Do you disagree?
Mr. Chairman, could we just ask all of our good members to respect the civility and decorum and the integrity of the witnesses who've come forward at their own expense to testify before us today? An insult is not a substitute for an argument.
This committee runs my pressure up, and I do come prepared to committee, and then there's always somebody from this side that does something ridiculous that throws me all the way off. So, oh Jesus. Okay, so this is where we're gonna start, Ms. Kaskin. First of all, let me apologize because that was uncalled for. So let me do what she would never do. Which is to be an adult in this room.
Got him. We fucking got him.
This fresh start that she says she needed by moving to the 4th district isn't panning out for her that well. She only got 10% of that vote in the straw poll. And if this straw poll is anything to go by, it will be far from smooth sailing for the ultra MAGA Republican.
Our double standard is unfair to all the elected officials in Colorado, Republicans and Democrats, who display human decency.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.